Hey, tribe, happy new year. We got a lot to catch up on, so let's dive in. Hey, tribe, and happy new year. Welcome in. It's 2025. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? For those of you who are new here, my name is Jocelyn. I am a leadership development consultant and also a personal development coach. I'm also a wife and a bonus mom and all the things. you know, a shout out to Nikki Vlogs because she was the one that was like, girl, all this time I did not know your name. And I realized it's because at some point I stopped saying my name in my videos. So I'm gonna make sure that I get back to that because I know a lot of you are new here and I know y'all be listening to me and be like, we don't even know her name. We can't even thank her because the girl on YouTube. So I said, let me make sure that I introduce myself so that you guys know who I am. So welcome in if you are new. Hey, girl. Hey, to those of you who are returning, to all my peeps, I love y'all so much. Thank you for rocking with me through 2024. It is now 2025 and I'm just so excited for what's to come. If you saw my last video, I was talking about how to plan and prep for 2025 and all about doing quarterly work. Like for me, I have to do things quarterly. I do have a focus for the year, but for me, I like to break things down quarterly because, like I said in my last video, sometimes God will come in and switch stuff up on you and be like, okay, well done here. However, it's time for you to move on to something else. Because sometimes we can get really comfortable in situations and places and things when you really need to get uncomfortable you need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable is what I'm trying to say. So just wanted to talk a little bit about where we're headed with this channel and what is the goal and the focus of where it is that we're going. Because for me, this is where I coach at, like I truly enjoy coaching. I'm a person who loves people. I know not everybody love people like that or can deal with people like that, but I love people. And there is purpose behind this channel. Impact and results really is what this channel is all about. So I wanted to dig a little deeper into what that is for me, what that means to me, and what it can also mean for you so that you know why you're here. Because when you hear, I want you to work. And by work, I mean, I want you to get the fulfillment that you need because there's so many things in the world telling us how we should be. Everybody's cookie cutter. They look the same. They trying to do the same things. And a lot of people are out of alignment. They are not in the right jobs, not in the right careers. Some of them should or shouldn't be entrepreneurs. Some of you it's time to go ahead and settle down. Like there are so many things. And so I just wanted to dig a little deep into how this all started. Now, as you see behind me, there is this painting right here that says Proverbs 31:25 woman. And I wanted to tell you the background about how this came about. So at the time that this was made, a local artist where I used to live when I used to live in Jacksonville, Florida, actually painted this for me. It was actually my ex-mother-in-law. And how this came about was in the summer of 2020. We all know the pandemic was going on, not really for Floridians. Like we were back open, not open as much. You still had to wear your mask and all that stuff like that. But we were pretty open. So I don't remember the pandemic like most people do. But what I do remember was that was one of the lowest points of my life. And my joy was really low. I was very unhappy. And I was just like, Lord, what you want me to do with it? And the reason why I kind of stayed in the situation that I was in was because I was sulking and pretty much saying that, well, it was my decision to put myself in this situation. So I have to suffer through it. Because if you're like me, and you grew up in church and you like, oh, well, when you get married, that's it. That's for life and stuff like that. Even though sidebar, I didn't realize that first of all, when I asked God, was this person for me, I didn't wait for the answer. So that was nothing that he ever ordained in the beginning, like from the beginning, period. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. But how this came about was I was studying because I felt like I lost my identity, and I was studying in the Bible, Proverbs chapter 31. And at the time that I had read this verse, this was the verse that stuck out to me. Proverbs 31:25. And she is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. And when I read that, I was like, that's what I want. That's the woman that I want to be. When I read those words, in my vision, I saw a confident woman, a woman that was fearless, that she trusted in the Lord with all her heart, that she went about her day thinking about, how can I make my life better? How can I make the lives of those around me better? How can I position myself for the future so that in the future, I don't have to be struggling. I don't have to be thinking about where is this and that coming from. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. And y'all know I laugh at my own jokes. Okay. I am a laughing and loving person. And I had lost so much of that. I had lost so much of myself at that time. And reading that, I was like, that gives me hope. You know what I mean? Like, that gives me the confidence to move forward. But I didn't really know how to move forward. But that scripture stuck with me. And when I read that, I asked my then mother-in-law, I said, can you draw a picture from me? Because she's an artist, so she draws very well. She does paintings and all type of stuff. And at the time, she was drawing on white canvas. I believe that this was her first black canvas picture. And so I said, do whatever you want. I said, but use this translation, which I believe this is the New Living Translation of Proverbs 31:25. I said, and draw whatever it is that you want. I said, but it must contain that verse, because that's the vision that I'm seeing, but I don't really see much else. And so when I got the picture back, when she showed it to me, I opened it up before I left their house, and I looked at the picture and I said, wait a minute, is that me? And she said, yes, I actually went to your Facebook page and I pulled one of your pictures and I drew it from that. Now, the crazy thing about it, well, not crazy thing, but what I felt was prophetic about it was, at the time, I had just locked not too long ago. So my locks were maybe like this long at the time. And you know how it is when you lock in and you want your hair growth. I was like, oh, I can't wait for my hair to get long and stuff like that. But in seeing that, looking at this woman right here was like, that's the woman that I can be. That's the woman that I want to be. But something I realized a few weeks ago is that this is who I've always been. This is likely how people have always seen me, but because of the nature of my situation and the things that I was going through, I had lost my identity. I didn't see me for who I was, but other people could see it. And sometimes that can be good and bad because sometimes when people see you the way that you actually are, they see you the light that you are, they will try to stump you out of you. They will try to get rid of everything about you, especially if they're offended or they're jealous of you, or if they feel like you're in competition with them, even when you're not. People still see you for who you are. And sometimes we forget to see ourselves for who we are. There are those who love us, who keep speaking life into us and telling us, and then there's those who try to kill it out of us, try to get rid of it and things like that. But I realized a few weeks ago, as I was planning for this year and listening to God and seeing what is my word for this year, what is the scripture that I am to follow this year, and this was the scripture. And looking at this woman, I said, oh my goodness, that's who I am now. But who I am now is who I've always been. Because, you ever know like talkers and stuff like that. And like when you were in school and talkers, you ask them what they're doing now. A lot of them are newscasters or psychologists. I was one of those people always getting in trouble for talking because I love people and I just enjoy talking. And here I am, a coach and a speaker and a consultant, and just love still talking to people. And there are just some things that are deep rooted in us that are a part of our identity. which leads me to the purpose of this channel, impact and results. And I believe that everybody is meant to make an impact, and we're supposed to be fruitful, and we're supposed to receive the results of the labor that we put in, of the impact that we have made. And that is so important, because the world tries to teach us how to be like everybody else for us to fit in. However, those of us who are peculiar people, if you know, you know, that we're meant to stand out. You're not meant to blend in with everybody else. You're not supposed to be like everybody else. And it is okay for you to be you. And that's what I want you to take away from this channel, is that it is wonderful for you to be you, an original, the only copy. Whether you're identical twin or not, you still have your own personality. You still have your own purpose that you are supposed to fulfill in this earth. Nothing's too saturated. There's no market too saturated. There's not a whole bunch of people who doing it on your job. They're not going to do it like you will. No one can impact your family the way that you can. Nobody can impact you like you can. And that's the purpose of this channel. I want to teach you how to be the best you. That to love your neighbor as yourself, to me, means that if I don't love myself right, I'm not going to love my neighbor right either. That if I'm not loving myself correctly, and this is not in a selfish way, this is not throwing caution to the wind and just doing whatever and just treating people any kind of way, or even treating yourself any kind of way. I know what it's like to be down in the dumps and mistreat myself because I thought that, well, I have to treat this person better, and then not respecting myself. Now, how dare I treat other people way better than I treat myself? If I'm confident and I'm treating myself well, then it will help me to give grace to others. It will help me to freely give forgiveness to others, because I've forgiven myself, because I've known how to treat myself, because I've had practice at treating myself well, and it makes it easier for me to do it to other people. And that's what I want you all to get from this channel. So when we're doing challenges, when we're doing the self-awareness challenge, if you haven't done that, I'll pop that up there so that you can go ahead and watch that series as well, because I want you to be thoughtful about your life. You should be impactful in life, but you should also be enjoying your life, and enjoying your life as you, not as anybody else. Like, I know y'all heard no shade to people. I know it probably sounds shady sometimes when I say it, when I'm like, I don't like the what do you call it? Like, the stark white, all white houses with the big islands and the black chairs, and there's no pop of color, there's nothing. But that's because that's my personality. But you can't sit here and tell me that everybody in America, on this earth, and even in the UK and stuff like that, because I've seen some UK people like this too, or anywhere else in the world, that everybody wants a stark white house, that you got 5 kids and they all under 18 and they ain't tearing all that up. That it is okay for you to be you, that it is okay for your family to be your family and the way that your family is. I want you to be impactful in the best way that you can, beginning with yourself. So that's what this channel is all about. And I want you to get results. One of my words a couple years ago was fruitful. And when you look at the word fruitful, we forget about the part where, we have to plant the seed first. We have to wait and cultivate it and make sure that we're developing and growing it for it to produce something. Our lives are meant to produce something. We should be producing something in every area of our life. You know what I mean? And it's not just our finances. And speaking of finances, let's talk real quick about stewardship, because I was having a conversation with someone about stewardship the other day. And I think the misconception that we have is that when we hear the word stewardship, especially us churchy people, we always thinking about finances, that we have to steward our finances well. But stewardship essentially means manager. You are the manager of everything that comes within your hands, everything your heart, your hand, your mind touches and uses and puts out into the world. You are the steward of that. So you should be mindful about what it is that you're putting out. Steward everything you have well. This includes your home. Steward your home well. This includes your relationships. Steward your relationships well, even the one with yourself. We have to steward anything that God has given us. He's given it to us so that we can be purposeful in it, that we can develop it so that it can produce fruit and it can continue to grow. And then it goes somewhere else and it continues to grow. You know what I mean? Like, we don't plant our plants and vegetables and things like that, not in expectation of return. I want you all to be in expectation to receive a return this year. If you have been putting in the work and you are continuously putting in the work without wavering, believe that you are going to receive a return for that. I believe it. I'm going to receive a return. I look at my relationships. My relationships are wonderful because I have put in the work. I have developed them. I have not waited for people to come and cater to me or anything like that. I love talking to my friends. Like I told y'all about the group chat, like it be going down in our group chat. I enjoy our group chat. I don't be running away from ours. But I love my relationship with my husband. I love my relationship with myself. And I was thinking, how do I become an even greater woman this year? How do I produce more? And it is to continue to give. And I want to see a return. I have an expectation of a return and I'm an expectation to receive what it is that I have put out because I have done the work and I've done it diligently. And I've also done it in a way where I want to be a blessing to others. So I hope that that's what you get out of this channel, that you come here to get fulfillment, to enjoy too, and have fun. Because look, we going back to vlogging. I'm gonna get better with the vlogs. I am finding my way. As you can tell, I'm kind of a new channel, so I'm still working my way through it. But I'm doing this because this is a labor of love. I truly enjoy this channel. I truly enjoy coaching. I truly enjoy consulting. That's what my business is as an entrepreneur. I enjoy homemaking. So you will see a lot more of that, of how I take care of my home, of how I take care of myself, how I take care of my family, because I don't want you to look at it and think that you have to mimic it. I want you to see yourself in what I do so that when you think about what your plans are and you like, okay, how do I want to go about this year? Look within and say, okay, these are the areas that I want to improve in. These are the areas that I want to strengthen and make better, but doing it in my own way so that it produces fruit in my life. That's how I want you to see it. So that's all I really wanted to share. And also to say Happy New Year. We are still going to be doing hauls and things like that. Y'all, no, I'm not ashamed. I was going to say I'm ashamed to say how much stuff I done got from Bath and Body Works. Baby, after Christmas where they had that semi-annual sale, I spent under $100 though. I'll tell you that. I got a whole bunch of stuff, but I spent under $100 because I waited for the semi-annual sale because I knew it was going to happen right after Christmas. So we will be talking about ways that we can be effective even in our finances, sticking to our budgets and making sure that we are beautifying everything around us so that we can have happiness and have some joy in our lives that we can pour out into the lives of others. And what else we going to be doing? We're going to be doing some stuff, okay? This is going to be an awesome year. I am so looking forward to it. But I also want to hear from you. What are your plans for this year? Do you have any goals? Because like here, I mean, I want you to resolve to be impactful in your life. That's what I want you to resolve. I want you to resolve to be resilient, to be impactful, and looking for results. That's what I want you to resolve. We don't do resolutions over here because, like I said, plans can change, things change in our lives. So we have to be flexible, but we also do have a path that we're taking, but we are not so focused on it being done in the way that we believe that it should be done, because sometimes we need these detours so that they can prune us and remove some things out of us that don't need to be there when we get there. So when we have arrived and when we get there, that not only do we receive it, but we are built to keep it because we have pruned away the things that would have pushed things out of our hands that we wouldn't be able to receive. You know what I'm saying? So I want to hear from you though. So what are your plans for this year? What are you looking forward to? What are you standing in expectation for? Okay. I love you guys to life. I hope you have an awesome day and I will see you in the next video. Bye.